Look at this, a gold DAF pace truck leading them up to the grid for race 2 for the British Truck Racing Championship here at Pembrey. This grid set, not by the reverse grid format we see for other races, but this grid set by the second fastest time for each truck in qualifying this morning. Division 1 first on the grid as ever, and it is race 1 winner Ryan Smith in pole position with Stuart Oliver again alongside him. Second row, John Newell, and a good effort by Tom O'Rourke on the second row in number 86 with his MAN. Stephen Powell and Mark Taylor on row 3. On the fourth row, David Jenkins and Michael Oliver. He retired from the first race. The fifth row, Simon Reed alongside Bradley Smith. Then row 6, Ricky Collett and Craig Reed. And Simon Faulkner starts at the back of Division 1. Then there's a gap, and we've got the Division 2 trucks. Luke Garrett, the quickest qualifier this time, with earlier race winner Jock Borthwick alongside him. John Bowler has qualified third, but we understand he may not be starting with problems from the first race. Craig Evans likely to start there alone. Then John Powell, the championship leader, alongside Adam Bint and Brad Smith, rounding out the grid. Yes, we're told, thanks to Mark Waller on our comment feed, looks to be out for race 2 for the trucks today, John Bowler. A gasket failure on his engine. They have parts on their way from their base, but probably won't be finished in time for today, so they're looking to come back to racing tomorrow. Thank you, Mark, for the info there. It's John Bowler, the number 14 truck there, based up in Stockport near Manchester. So they won't get the parts here in time, unfortunately, for the second race today. So it looks like John Bowler, number 14, the Union Jack liveried truck, is a non-starter. But Ryan Smith is there, dominated the first race. Stuart Oliver a second place. The top 5, I should say, were fairly well set all the way through race 1. With John Newell third, Simon Reed in fourth, and Stephen Powell's slightly battered truck in 5th position. Everybody else was battling behind. David Jenkins, we saw have a good scrap with Mark Taylor and Tom O'Rourke. Ricky Collett was fighting with Bradley Smith, Craig Reed. Simon Faulkner we saw get flagged in, that was for black smoke. And then Division 2 we saw Jock Borthwick pretty much run away with it ahead of Luke Garrett, the former champion. Adam Bint was an early retirement as I'm drowned out again by aircraft. It's like being at Donington Park, this is, right next to East Midlands Airport. Trucks go there later in the summer, of course, for Convoy in the Park. It's Convoy Cymru here at Pembrey this weekend. Apologies if my Welsh pronunciation is incorrect. I'll probably be admonished by Margaret Sharratt, one of the regular Pembrey marshals. I know she's watching today. Hi to Margaret and Steve and daughter Alison as well. I've been marshalling at Pembrey for many years. Thanks for all your comments. Sorry we can't read all of them out. Steve Ridgers says, go Stephen Powell. Bit of smoke there as Stuart Oliver gets underway for the rolling start. This will be a 15-minute race once again. Second of our 5 truck races this weekend. Let's see what the big rigs can do this time. Tom O'Rourke on the second row, the boss of MV Commercials. Never been to a truck race meeting, Tom, until he attended Convoy in the Park to display some of his trucks from MV Commercials, his company. And then, on seeing the sport, decided he was going to have a go. 6 Division 2 trucks, yes, John Bowler sadly is not there. Adam Bint's back out though, after a few problems in the first race. It's a real fan favourite, the Oxfordshire driver. Hi to Ben in the comments, says he works for NWT, that's John Newell's company, so he's cheering on the number 18. There is Ryan Smith. Can anyone stop the 6-time champion from pole position? Stuart Oliver, the 10-time champion. There's David Jenkins, another former champion, back in the midfield today. Looks like Simon Faulkner possibly is not there at the back of Division 1. So maybe he did have further problems in race 1 and couldn't rectify them. Brad Smith at the back in the beige number 16. Pace starting to quicken then. Ready for truck race number 2 of the weekend. Another 3 coming up tomorrow. Smith and Oliver, the 2 bonneted trucks together at the front of the field. Jock Borthwick going for a double in Division 2. Can he defeat Luke Garrett once again? The big rigs ready to rumble here at the home of motorsport in South Wales for the 2nd time this weekend. There's the Division 2 at 6 at the back. John Powell in the blue and green truck, the championship leader. The revs beginning to rise. Fly past continuing overhead as we're ready to rock and roll. The 2nd truck race of the weekend comes up towards the red lights, and we are underway. Here we go, down towards Hatchett's hairpin. What's going to happen this time then? Ryan Smith makes a good start. Stuart Oliver slots in behind ahead of John Newell in the number 18. Trying to get down the outside is Michael Oliver in the number 12. It's 3 wide, and Tom O'Rourke up onto the curb. Oliver has to go wide. Oliver Jr. in the number 12. Division 1 all around the first corner. Okay, Ricky Collett dropping to the back in the 95. It's side by side in Division 2. Luke Garrett, the pole sitter, has the advantage. A couple of non-starters there. Simon Faulkner is not there in the number 92 by the look of things. It's Ryan Smith who leads the way ahead of Oliver, Newell, O'Rourke in 4th. Michael Oliver with a good start into 5th position down the outside ahead of Mark Taylor. Then Stephen Powell and David Jenkins in the 69, who hasn't had the happiest of weekends so far. He needs to make moves towards the front of the field if he's going to catch his championship rival Ryan Smith. But Smith already leaving everybody else behind in the number 1. Through Carter's for the first time, these near 1,000 horsepower race trucks. They all weigh just over 5 tons, these machines. Ricky Collett at the back of the Division 1 pack at the moment. The Yorkshireman runs a heavy haulage business. Some of the biggest loads seen on Britain's roads are hauled by Collett's. Ryan Smith already with several truck lengths of lead, nearly 2 seconds over Stuart Oliver at the end of lap number 1. What a magnificent sight they make as they charge into Hatchett's hairpin for the 2nd time. Ricky Collett up the inside. He's going to take both of the Reed brothers in one move. He's taken Craig, he's taken Simon as well. And the Reed's not having the best of starts this race. Luke Garrett leads Division 2 ahead of Jock Borthwick. Craig Evans going well up there in 3rd in the number 10 ahead of John Powell, who led the championship coming into this round with 3 wins at Brands Hatch. Tom O'Rourke going well here, and Michael Oliver in the number 12. He was in Division 2 last season. A number of drivers have moved up a division this year. Stephen Powell and Craig Reed among them. Leaving a slightly lower number in Division 2, but still close racing. Through Brooklands goes the pack for the 2nd time. Luke Garrett in the orange machine still leads Division 2. Here comes the first of the Reeds. That's Simon. You can recognise the Reeds by the colour of the wing mirrors. Simon has white wing mirrors. He's just passed Ricky Collett there at Carter's. Now closing on Bradley Smith, the youngest man in the championship in the 46. His father Tony used to race in the series as well. None of the Smiths are related, I believe, in this series. Simon Reed now shadowing Bradley Smith. Ricky Collett trying to get down the outside. Ryan Smith has checked out at the front in the number 1. And Ricky Collett sideways there out of Hatchett's hairpin. Always a spectacular racer is Ricky. Stuart Oliver still 2nd. John Newell 3rd. Then a gap back to Tom O'Rourke in 4th. Still Michael Oliver, Stephen Powell, and David Jenkins still subdued there down in 7th place. There is the former champion. Normally see him battling it out tooth and nail with Ryan Smith. They are deadly rivals on track, those two, but David Jenkins just doesn't seem to have the speed this weekend. Maybe he'll rectify that for tomorrow's 3 races. Meanwhile, up the inside, Simon Reed passes Bradley Smith. We saw Simon take a 4th place in race 1, but the Iveco not so quick on his 2nd quickest qualifying lap, which decided the grid for this one. I say taking a 4th in race 1. We haven't actually had the result through from race 1 yet via the timekeepers. Lead is up to over 4.5 seconds now for Ryan Smith. Here comes Craig Reed attacking the MAN of 46 Bradley Smith. The Iveco up the inside. I don't think he'll get through there. Here come Division 2, and Jock Borthwick up the inside takes the lead from Luke Garrett. So we have a change of leader in Division 2 down the straight there. Third place behind them is Craig Evans. It's John Powell, Brad Smith, and good to see Adam Bint still running in his Volvo white Aerodyne at the back of the field. Bradley Smith staying ahead of Craig Reed. Here's Division 2. Two MANs together. The older shape MAN of Craig Evans behind them. It's Jock Borthwick who holds the lead. Looking for win number 2 for today and for the season. See the steam coming off Luke Garrett's wheels there as Borthwick runs a bit wide. It's not smoke coming from the wheels, just steam from the water-cooled brakes. John Powell in 4th place. Looking to hang on to his championship lead, and the Volvo at the back there, you see running on HVO fuel, a more green and more economical fuel being tried by Adam Bint over the last couple of years in his Volvo white. Here's the battle between Craig Reed, Bradley Smith and Ricky Collett. This is for 10th place. Ricky Collett on the inside, goes through at Hatchett's hairpin. Meantime, here's our leader. We haven't forgotten Ryan Smith. But he's probably wondering where everyone else has got to. He's over 6 seconds up. Smith, who's competed in some rounds of the European series as well. Usually goes to race at the Nürburgring in Germany every year. Stuart Oliver, the ex-European champion. And John Newell used to compete in Europe several years ago as well. Real shame that the European Truck Racing Cup doesn't visit the UK anymore. Used to be some of the biggest events of the year at particularly Donington Park. They used to go to Brands Hatch and to Silverstone as well. Back in the heyday of truck racing, the late 80s and early 90s, when British heroes Steve Parrish, ex-motorcycle star, also Richard Walker, used to take on the best of Europe. Again, Stephen Powell's truck seemingly falling apart. It's bodywork there. But David Jenkins stuck in behind him, just cannot get out of the midfield today. Number 81, Mark Taylor in behind him. They had a good scrap in race 1. Can Jenkins catch Stephen Powell, the 2020 Division 2 champion? Stephen Powell and his family run a pub just down the road from the Brands Hatch circuit in Kent, the Portobello Inn. The yellow and white MAN. Now David Jenkins on the attack as they come into Brooklands. He's got the inside. He's going through. Powell gives him room. Jenkins goes through up into 6th position. Next target is Michael Oliver. Father Stewart up there in 2nd place. Next behind them is Simon Reed. Then it's Craig Reed, the younger of the brothers, the reigning Division 2 champion. The lead gap is now up to nearly 8 seconds. Ryan Smith over Stuart Oliver. John Newell 1.5 seconds back in 3rd. Then 7.5 seconds back is this fight between O'Rourke, Oliver and Jenkins. Simon Reed made a mistake there coming out of on the curve, went onto the grass. That's half distance in this second truck race of the weekend. Division 2 still led by Jock Borthwick, by just over a second ahead of Luke Garrett. It's calming down just a little in the midfield. Mark Taylor closing up on Stephen Powell. Michael Oliver a bit sideways there. Let's see if David Jenkins can make any further progress. Mark Taylor, the number 81. Entered truck racing as a sponsor of Ryan Smith before deciding to have a go for himself. Michael Oliver are now under pressure. David Jenkins is starting to find his form now, starting to turn up the pressure on the number 12. But all the time that Oliver is defending, Tom O'Rourke's escaping in 4th place. Tom O'Rourke with, if memory serves me right, just 1 win to his name in truck racing so far. It was at Donington last year, if I remember rightly. Up the inside goes Jenkins. He's going to take Michael Oliver. into the hairpin, he's through, up into 5th position, and Stephen Powell's having a go as well. He's seen a gap on the inside, and he goes through. Oliver's lost 2 places. Stephen Powell back up into 6th place, where he was a few laps ago. Now, can they catch Tom O'Rourke in 4th place? See what the lap times are when they come through next time. Here's a battle further back in Division 2. We've got John Powell under fire from Brad Smith in the Unity Recovery Midland Truck Breakers number 16 DAF, and Adam Bint in behind them. John Powell sideways. He doesn't seem to have the power he had at Brands Hatch. In fact, Division 2 could well be the most open it's been in many years this year. Borthwick, Garrett and Evans still your top 3, and round the outside goes Brad Smith. I think John Powell has got a problem, in fact. Yes, he's slowing down. The number 6 is in trouble. Brad Smith and Adam Bint go through. I think John Powell's in trouble. Wait to see if he comes into the pits this time through. Not sure what the problem is, but he certainly slowed up on this lap. That's a great shame. He could lose the championship lead. He was only about 6 points ahead of Jock Borthwick coming into this weekend. So almost certainly Jock Borthwick is going to take the championship lead in Division 2. Oh, and problems there. Michael Oliver in trouble. Has he gone off, or is he pulling up? He pulled up in race 1 with problems with the MAN. Yes, he's pulled up there. He's heading for the airfield if he's not careful. Pulled up a long way off the circuit. And that's Michael Oliver out of the race. So that's allowed Mark Taylor up into 7th place. The Reed brothers now 8th and 9th. Ricky Collett in 10th. Bradley Smith has dropped back as well in the 46. His last lap was a 1 minute 16, so yes, he's losing pace as well. A few trucks in trouble here. Just over 4 minutes of the race to go. Now here's the fight for 2nd place. We haven't forgotten about the leaders. John Newell is trying to close down Stuart Oliver, but there's yellow flags out at Hatches because of Michael Oliver's truck having pulled over. Father Stewart will spot that and thinking, great, more work for my team. And he's pulled away a bit there from John Newell over the section of Spitfires and Debenny. We're a long way clear of Tom O'Rourke, who's still in 4th and nearly 10 seconds behind these two. The lead gap is nearly 9 seconds. Ryan Smith has run away and hid at the front of the field again. David Jenkins is about 2.5 seconds off Tom O'Rourke, and he is lapping slightly quicker, so we could see Jenkins up into the top 4 at the end of this race, I reckon. Oliver now pulling away again from John Newell in 2nd place. Here's the battle for Division 2, and Luke Garrett is not letting Jock Borthwick get away this time. He beat him by about 10 seconds in race 1. There's Craig Evans in a rather lonely 3rd in the group, and then the fight between Brad Smith and Adam Bint. John Powell is still going, but he's dropped back. So he's trying to keep going to at least pick up some points. There's clearly gremlins with the number 6. Well, Borthwick heading for 2 wins out of 2 in Division 2, but more importantly, with John Powell down in 6th in class, Borthwick is going to take the championship lead as well. Well, there's Ryan Smith. We've barely seen him all race long. Back to his dominant form as we've seen over the last few years. He's showed 1 or 2 cracks in his form at Brands Hatch. It was a very open event indeed there. Ryan asserting his dominance once again. 2 minutes to go. Get a couple more laps out of this. Here's the scrap further back, Brad Smith and Adam Bint. There's Bradley Smith. He's fallen away at the back of Division 1. John Powell's still battling on. Now, what was his lap time that time through? Yes, 1 minute 18. He's definitely slowing down. In fact, he slowed right down there out of the hairpin. Ryan Smith is going to lap him. He's indicating left to show he's moving out of the way. Good courteous driving by John Powell. Knows there's a problem with that truck. He seemed to be struggling to get drive out of the hairpin there, so whether it's a gearbox or clutch problem, I'm not sure. It could be. He wants to pick up some points here, so he's going to try and keep going to the end of the race. Ryan Smith heading for victory, barring any mechanical malady with the Daimler, with the Freightliner body. Really is a stunning looking truck, that one. Here's the battle in Division 2, and Luke Garrett's getting aboard. Here comes the former champion in 42. He won't pass at the hairpin because the yellow flag is still out there. No passing under yellow flags or you'll be penalised. Let's Jock Borthwick go this time, but he's ready to attack. Try and snatch victory in Division 2, his second win of the season. 3 wins for John Powell at Brands Hatch, 1 for Luke Garrett and 1 for Brad Smith. But it's going to be 2 for Jock Borthwick here if things stay as they are. We're on the last lap now. Ryan Smith has eased off a little. He's the lead gap has been cut to 7.8 seconds. Swings it through Dibeni for the last time over the crossing. John Newell has caught back up to Stuart Oliver again for second. Looks like they're going to complete the podium for the second race in a row. Dominance here on this Saturday for Ryan Smith. Flying Ryan at the double. Already on his way towards what could be a 7th consecutive Division 1 championship. He's made no secret of the fact he wants to match Stuart Oliver's statistics in the sport. Up towards the final corner at Honda Curve. Nobody near him. Complete dominance once again for Flying Ryan. He takes the checkered flag. 2 wins out of 2 here at Pembrey today. Stuart Oliver will come over in second place, holding off John Newell all the way. Newell takes third. Then further back in fourth, it should be Tom O'Rourke. Here comes Simon Reed with a late move on Mark Taylor. Oh, look out, Mark, there's nearly contact there. Mark Taylor hanging on as much as he can. There's still a bit of contact there. Over the line comes David Jenkins. He's got 4th place on the last lap there from Tom O'Rourke. Ahead of Stephen Powell, then Mark Taylor, then Simon Reed. And then we've got Craig Reed and Ricky Collett to complete Division 1. Not to complete Division 1, sorry, apologies. We've got Bradley Smith still running as well, haven't we? Here's the fight further back. Adam Bint trying to stay ahead of Brad Smith. So David Jenkins snatching 4th there on the final lap. There's Bradley Smith home, and the Division 2 win is going to go to Luke Garrett. He's got ahead of Jock Borthwick on the final lap. Well, it all happened there on the last lap. Luke Garrett takes victory in Division 2. Craig Evans will be 3rd. And here's the battle between Brad Smith and Adam Bint. Who's going to get to the line first? They're going to finish side by side, and up the line, it's Adam Bint by 0.2 of a second. Well, it's impossible to know where to look on that final lap. We had David Jenkins snatch 4th, but more importantly, Division 2, Luke Garrett pinched the win. John Powell did finish a lap down. The only retirement, Michael Oliver. It's 2 out of 2 for Flying Ryan. So 15 more points for Ryan Smith and 15 points for Luke Garrett. Smith the winner by just over 7 seconds ahead of Stuart Oliver, who held off John Newell by just over a second. David Jenkins coming through on the final lap for 4th place. A better run from him ahead of Tom O'Rourke and Stephen Powell. Mark Taylor in 7th, just ahead by half a second of Simon Reed. Then brother Craig in 9th place. Ricky Collett and Bradley Smith completing Division 1. And then Division 2, Luke Garrett snatching the win on the final lap from Jock Borthwick. Craig Evans 3rd, and Adam Bint just beat Brad Smith by 0.2 of a second to finish 4th in class ahead of the DAF. The other finisher, John Powell, a lap down after a few problems. That one, Michael Oliver, as we saw, was a retirement. We can now head down to our man on the ground, the one and only Pointy, to hear from a couple of the drivers.
Well. Another start to a race without any red flags. Quite an achievement here for Pembrey, as the first corner does separate the men from the boys. However, we're doing very well. That was the last race of the day here at Pembrey for the British Truck Racing Championships. Let's go and see what drivers we can find in and around their trucks. Shall we walk? Let's walk. Now, first trophy of the year goes to Craig Evans in third place for Division 2. So if he's available, let's go and speak to him. Now, Craig Evans doing very well in last year's championship. Consistency is key. Didn't win that many trophies, but actually still got a third place podium in the overall standings, which is an incredible feat to do. We're just seeing the Division 2 come in behind me now. Lovely weather conditions still here at Pembrey, South Wales. No one really expected it. Quite a bit of damage if you want to have a look down here at Simon Reed's front right corner. Some definite contact on another truck somewhere. Stephen Powell's got a bit of damage to his rear left wing as well. And we can see the number 10 truck down there at the back, the silver and blue, Craig Evans MAN. So let's try and safely make our way through. Bradley, how are we? Here we go. Get a shot of these two. Emma Tyrer, Steve Thomas, here with Truck Sport UK and the British Truck Racing Championship. Whilst we've got you, actually, this is the first time we've done Convoy Cymru, a first for Pembrey Circuit. Emma, first of all, how do you think it's gone so far?
I think it's gone really well, actually. I think it's something that we can grow on and get more manufacturers here, more trucks here, a bit more entertainment as we build on it, but the vibes were good. And yeah, I think everybody's having a good time.
Now, Steve, from an ex-racing driver yourself, being in the British Truck Racing and working your way up, how does it feel watching it from the sidelines? Are you enjoying it as much as an event now as you were doing as a competitor?
Yeah, I do enjoy racing, but I also enjoy watching the racing and watching the lads race. It's good, and Pembrey's a good circuit for truck racing. It always has been. And it's very close at the moment. The top half a dozen or so. There's less than a second between them. So the racing's good, and it showed at Brands Hatch that we had 5 different winners. We've had the same winners today. With Ryan winning both races, but now we've got reverse grid. This is when the action starts and a bit more fun. So see what happens in the morning.
Exactly. There is so much more to see with this new reverse grid setup.
Yeah, and I think sometimes qualifying and you get the fastest lads out front, and it can be a bit boring with the same trucks. I do like the reverse grid, so tomorrow does make it better. But as for a venue, this is the busiest I think I've ever seen Pembrey, and it's fantastic. The sun's out, everyone's happy, racing's been good, and it's just absolutely fantastic venue at the moment. You've got tractor pulling and stilt walkers. And
as I say, we've got flame throwing when we're doing the trophy presentation shortly as well, and a massive turnout of show trucks as well. Obviously, we're not the only game in town, and it's fantastic that so many trucks have put this much effort in to make the journey down here to be part of Convoy Cymru.
Yeah, and we thank them all, because it is a long way, and we've got a lot of show trucks, some local, some have come a long way. We've got stalls out there selling clothing. A lot of them have come from miles away, like Edinburgh. So they've been driving for 7 hours.
That is a long way.
But once you're here, it's a good venue. It's good.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much, Emma and Steve. We'll let you get back to the organisation, and let's go now and see if we can get hold of Craig Evans now he's out of his truck, and he is indeed well rested. Craig. Here we go. Oh, let's get you here in front. No, don't you all disappear. You did it too. Obviously, plenty of admiration from the team, and congratulations to your first podium of the year.
It certainly is. We're over the moon with it, as you can tell.
Yes, indeed. I mean, you deserve it. I was just saying to camera earlier on that your consistency over the last season was phenomenal, and that actually can win you just as many points as going home with a little bit of silverware.
Well, it got us third in the championship last year, so it does show that consistency does pay off. Obviously, we've come to the second round of the season, we've already got a first podium, so we're over the moon with that.
So building on this now, 3 races left tomorrow. I take it, we've got no damage. Let's give it a quick clean, put some fuel in it, and we're ready to go again tomorrow, yes?
Yeah, I hope so. We'll try and get second tomorrow, eh?
Hey, just keep building, that's it. Well,
Definitely.
Craig, I mean, obviously you feel fantastic. I take it you've got no issues with the truck this year. I know a lot of the guys have been having a little play with theirs through the winter break, and they've come back with, well, a lot of issues, let's be honest. So do you feel like you've stuck with what you know and it's paying off?
Pretty much, yeah. We parked it up last year knowing that we've got potential this year if we just refine the motor, but it looks like it's paid off.